So this message feels like it is for those who maybe have had to do a lot of masking, like emotional masking for a lot of their life. And it's to a point where now I want to use the term toxic positivity, where you're almost always expected to be happy, to not show emotion or sadness or anger or something like that, right? And so maybe everybody is always expecting a certain version of you. And maybe I feel like I want to pause right there and say, I want to give you permission. It's like, who are you to give me permission? It's okay to be radically honest about how you're feeling. You don't have to be positive all the time. You don't have to put on a brave face all the time. You can be upset, you can be angry, and you can act on those feelings sometimes. It's not healthy or balanced. Some say it's not balanced to pretend and think positive and be positive all the time, 24/7, because that is not allowing some of these deeper emotions to come to the surface, be heard, be expressed, and be released. So if you're always covering those up with delusional thinking, oh, it'll get better, and sometimes it will, which is why I'm trying to be careful with the way this is coming out, because there is indeed times where you are in charge of your life, right? I believe that what we think, what we say, what we believe, we're creators of our reality. And so if something is a little bit challenging, having those positive thoughts, not giving into negative situations, and keeping a positive mindset should be the first step. We can shift the energies in the atmosphere and the people by holding our positive neutral ground and by speaking over our lives abundantly and positively, and speaking things as though they are, even if they aren't, being manifestors and conscious manifestors, and understanding that it's our vibration and everything's a mirror, and things like that. 100%. Yes. Okay. This is not to say disregard all that. I do believe sometimes that Delulu is the Salulu. We don't let the little things, the little petty things get in your way. Claim it and stick to it, and know that there is greater things ahead, right? It's only up from here. There is moments for that. Most of the moments are like that. Yeah, sure. But I want us to be balanced and understand that I don't think that's always how this should be handled, but you need to use your discernment, okay? Especially if you have already been the route where Delulu is the Salulu, but you're not seeing the Salulu. And I'm kind of feeling like this could be when we're dealing with people and situations to where you're hoping that they will be better people. Oh, they're going through a couple things. I'm going to think the best of them. Let's say it's a partner. You're hoping that they change, and you're speaking positively over them, and you're all that, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, they are still actively treating you bad. There's still abuse, verbal, physical abuse, and I know, trigger warning, sorry. But how long are you going to keep on saying, oh, everything's fine, I'm fine, everything's great, when in reality, things are terrible? You need to speak up either to that person and say, and maybe you need to let some of that anger loose, and really express how you feel. Actually, it's not fine. Actually, this sucks. Actually, get out of my house. You know what I mean? There's only so much for your health and for your balance. There's only so much of the positivity masking. Oh, I'm happy, this is fine, I'm not going to speak negatively about the situation, oh, it'll just pass by. There's only so much of that is allowed. especially when a situation is harmful to yourself or to other people around you. It's like not sweeping things under the rug for a long periodically time. Something that comes to mind is just what's going on in the world and how there can be some people who are just like, oh, it'll pass and kumbaya and still stay positive and stay out of it and be, centered and light and love. And that still might be what they feel called to do. But then as we're seeing, like, there's only so much light and love that we need to be, giving and allowing. There's only so much grace until we need to start flipping tables, until we need to start doing something radical, until, like, actually they're not going to take light and love anymore. They're not taking you seriously, us seriously, nobody seriously until, we flip the script and start expressing our anger in a way that's not harmful still, but in a way that, creates some actual change. Whether that's speaking up, whether that's, protest, I'm not gonna go there, but you know what I mean. And so this could look different for all of us, big ways or small ways. And I know in the beginning I was talking about those who always felt like they've had to put on the brave face. I feel like you might be dealing with this the most, where it feels uncomfortable to lean into almost that dark side, you might call it. You might feel guilty for not being happy all the time, but it still comes down to you and your happiness and your overall balance. Another thing I want to say about this is how if you're always masking, if you're always saying I'm happy, oh it's great, I love my life and it's wonderful, and every time somebody asks you, are you great, how are you feeling, and you're like I'm good, but deep down you're not good, people don't even know that how they can help you. They don't even know you need help. So you're doing yourself a disservice, honestly, if there's somebody who actually does care about you and all you're always saying is I'm fine, because you don't want to what? Make them uncomfortable. You don't want to put any burden on them. You don't actually want to, and maybe there's a problem and you don't want to make them like see their error, and you're trying to be so happy-go-lucky and maybe they'll change, and I'll be the example and they will follow my lead and whatnot, and I'll just keep speaking positivity over the situation and it'll get better magically. It's like, okay, now after you tried that and nothing has changed and you still feel like you're in the same spot you were a year ago, 2 years ago, however long, you're gonna feel the tug to like let some of those real emotions out and actually say, actually I'm not okay. Actually, I've been dealing with this for a long time. And maybe it's a personal issue and somebody genuinely just asking, maybe don't have anything to do with them, right? It's like, you know what, actually, yeah, I would like to sit down and talk and just lay all the things out that you've been going through and say, and maybe you need a cry session, and maybe you need a venting session, and maybe you need to go axe throwing, and just get that anger out instead of being the one that's strong all the time. And that could be because maybe we got to really look and see where that's coming from. Like, are you actually trying to be cognizant of other people's feelings and you're trying to keep them safe from your anger? Or is there some sort of ego attached to being the one who is always stoic and the one who always has it together and the one who's always happy? Like, you don't ever want anybody to catch you being, sad or depressed or angry. Like, is that a ego thing? Is that a pride thing that we're not allowing ourselves? Is this the way we grew up? Is this a wounding? Is this you never felt safe to express yourself? There could be a lot of reasons why we might be overly pretending to be happy, overly delusional, to where it becomes imbalanced and ultimately detrimental for your overall well-being. Okay. What did I write down? The song Fake Happy by Paramore. If I smile with my teeth, think you believe me? She says, and let me put this octave down. She says, oh, please, don't ask me how I've been. Don't make me play pretend. Oh, no. Oh, what's the use? Oh, please, I bet everybody here is fake happy too. Woof. So if you want to go listen to that song, I'm pretty sure it's called Fake Happy by Paramore. trying to think of any other song, any other of the lyrics, but that's pretty much the chorus. So ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away all the time. Sometimes it does, and that's why I'm just looking at what I wrote down. Sometimes it does. Like I said, there's a balance between conscious creation, what you think about, what your attention goes to, is where the energy flows and whatnot. Sure. So this is really up to your discernment about where you're going to lean and when and how often and how much. And am I doing myself a disservice? Or, is it actually okay? Am I actually content? Can I actually get through this and just stay positive and like get through this little hurdle? Maybe. Is this bigger than me? Has this been going on for far too long? Is this enough happiness? Cut it out right now. Let's actually get to the nitty gritty and let's really figure out what's going on. Let's really express ourselves for real. Let's lay down the law. I know some people are really used to you being happy. You're fine. Nothing's ever wrong. And sometimes it gets to a point where they don't even ask you anymore. And then guess how you feel? Oh, they didn't even ask me how I was. Like, yeah, because you've always pretended that you were good. So now don't be mad when nobody's asking you how you are, because obviously you're fine. Get me, because I've done that, especially with my parents. And so some of you have parents where, oh, y'all, and I don't mean to make this too long, but let's say as a child that, maybe you went to them and you expressed some actual feelings and they maybe ignored it, or they didn't take you seriously, or they say, you say I'm depressed and they say go depress them dishes. You know what I mean? How some parents don't have the emotional capacity to take on your emotions. And so then the only thing you ever say is when they ask you, well, how are you? You're just going to say you're fine, because they're not going to do anything anyway. They don't have the capacity to help you anyway. And so that comes into your adulthood where you don't ever feel safe to even really be honest about how you feel. And so now it just has to be, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm fine. Even when you're like struggling and you really could use the help, or you really could use the ear, and you really could use a shoulder to lean on. And there might be people in your life who do want to support you, but you're feeling like they might be just like your parents, where, they just hear what you say and don't actually help you, or they just dismiss your feelings altogether and say, oh, you shouldn't be, no. Just be happy about it. Like, it'll pass. And it's like, you don't really want to hear that. And so from childhood, yeah, I can relate is what I'm trying to say. And this is a message for y'all, but I guess sometimes I also kind of go into this, oh, I'm okay, I'm good, when in reality it's like, actually, I'm not okay. Actually, like, this is really hard. Actually, life is really tough. And sometimes it's very unfair to live in the society we live in and the circumstances, and there's only so much positive thinking that I can do and that you can do. And I would say I don't really have advice on that. I would say just allow yourself to, if you get the opportunity, if you get the prompt to say what's on your mind, say a little bit more than I'm fine. Say, well, life is kind of hard right now. You don't have to go all the way into it, but just start practicing allowing yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable to people who ask. Maybe have a journal that you can actually lay out your actual emotions onto the paper. Maybe even write down things and share them with the world. And which reminds me, and I didn't say these on these other videos, but if you would like, and I should have, I'm so sorry, I forgot. But if you would like deeper dive messages, the link would be in the description box, and there's also a link to the Substack where I go a little bit deeper into just deeper messages. So feel free to click on those if you are curious or you feel like there might be a message there for you. But like that expression, that truest, authentic, raw expression about how you truly feel and what's really going on inside of you, don't hold that in. But you can start slow. You can start in a way that's not super exposed. In just whatever way you see fit. But it feels like the time of pretending to be happy, fake happiness. It feels like we don't need no more of that these days. So maybe that's a shift in your life in this year, the year of the one. We're starting over, starting fresh. You shed all those old timelines and old beliefs and old wounds, and now it is like, no, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, and that's what it is, and it is what it is. And of course, we still have our balance of being positive and enjoy and contentment and satisfaction, but we also know that sometimes time's up for that. And boots on the ground, a different type of energy needs to come through at the right time. So I'll leave that right there. Yeah, I feel like some of y'all need to get it out. Just get it out, let it out. If you're not gonna be happy for the next month because we just down bad and we depressed and we sad and we angry, let it be that, okay? Let it be that.